What's up, everybody, and welcome to Around the Monitor for the week of October 9th. I'm your host, Zach, and joining me once again, we've got the world's #1 Psychonauts fan, David.
I'm still not used to the new names.
We've got the
Actually,
Ace.
my name's fine. The title's what's fine.
I'm not used to my own human name.
We've got the Ace Attorney, Pridge.
I don't want to spoil too much, but we might be talking about video games this episode.
They've come a long way since Pac-Man.
Damn it. Very good. We've got the... I don't call you the Snapshot Crack Shot anymore, do I?
I don't know. You haven't in a while. I don't know. It's me, baby. It's Chris, baby.
We've got it's me, baby, Chris, baby. We've got the hockey sticks and sickle himself, Ian.
That's me.
That was adorable. If this is your first time watching, basically we talk through the week's news in gaming and we gamify it, making it so that every point somebody makes while talking about it gets them an actual point. Whoever has the most at the end of the show wins and gets to talk about whatever they'd like for a whole minute. If you're watching the show live on twitch.tv/KingKaiser, you can use the channel points to vote and give or take away points from anybody whose opinion you like or disagree with. Get wild. It's fun. But we always start the show with a trivia question to determine the order. And this we do. Often overlooked part of the show. But one of the news articles this week, we're going to be talking about Sega's best console of all time, the Sega Dreamcast. And
the Master System, excuse you.
This thing sold gangbusters. We all know that. But my specific question to you all is, how many copies did the Dreamcast sell in its lifetime?
Oh,
2.
like 4. I knew a guy that had one. I'll have you fucking know. Same guy had an N-Gage.
Zach, did you have a Dreamcast?
I did have a Dreamcast.
Yeah.
In fact, I owned a CD copy of Shenmue.
The best video game.
Berline K says, whoever gives the lowest number gives the correct answer.
I'm going to say it probably wasn't as bad as I think it was, but I'm still going to say it's like 7.5 million.
I was going to give it like 14 million.
I'm going to go 5.2 million.
I was going to say 5. I'll just stay with 5.
Okay.
Damn, I'm way higher than anyone.
I don't think it broke 10 mil, buddy.
The correct answer is 9.13 million.
That's not okay.
That's
like,
a lot higher than I thought.
Look, it's still bad, but it's
That's
not nearly
really
as bad as
bad.
I expected.
That means the correct order is going to be Chris, followed by David, followed by Pridge, followed by Ian. Math is hard. The topics for the show are going to be Star Wars Squadron is not going to have any more content. It's a $40 game, and that's it.
That's weird, dog.
Yep, for an EA game about Star Wars?
That franchise makes no money.
We've got more pictures of Super Nintendo Land now opening in, quote, early 2021. Who wants to make bets on that one, folks? Sony released a, quote unquote, teardown video of the PlayStation 5 specs. Boy, is that thing big.
That's a big console.
Not content with just a CGI Netflix series, we're also getting a live-action Resident Evil movie reboot. Everyone wanted that. Genshin Impact has now amassed over 17 million downloads on mobile alone and has probably made more than $50 million.
Closer to 60 apparently now.
Yes, that is the more recent version of it. Yves Guillemot, the well-beloved CEO of Ubisoft, has delivered a list of things that the company will do to improve their work culture. Let's see if that happens, folks.
Everyone's favorite guy.
Yo, what the fuck is going on with the Monster Hunter movie? That's all I wrote.
You're right.
The PlayStation 5
That's all that needs to be said.
The PlayStation 5 will not have a difference for the X and O button. Sorry, the cross and O buttons in Japan versus international audiences. A choice that has many Japanese people very upset. Sega's creative producer says they might do a Dreamcast Mini next after this week's, what is it called? The Game Gear Mini? Yeah. That thing ain't selling for shit. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Well, it's only selling in Japan. It's doing fine.
I'm cutting out you correcting me there. Multiple members of Twitch's staff accused the company of sexism, racism, and etc. Sony gives details about how the PlayStation 5's 3D audio will work with TV speakers in the future. And this is the late breaking news. Is Microsoft saving GameStop? I don't know if anyone's had the actual time to read this article, but according to Twitch, GameStop and Microsoft have partnered up. And in the meantime, GameStop's stock has risen about 40% in a day. So good for them. Good for you, GameStop. But Chris, you're up first. What topic would you like to take to start the show?
There's a lot of good topics here. I want to dunk on Sony for that big console. I want to talk about the fact that nobody gives a shit about a Resident Evil reboot. Genshin Impact game is good, but fuck it. We're going to the very important topics here. Hey guys, what the fuck is going on with the Monster Hunter movie?
please explain the hilarity that is this movie.
So we talk about this movie a little bit on the show, but for a quick recap, the Monster Hunter movie appears to be a classic, like, pulled into another world movie, an isekai if you're a fucking weeb. And it appears to be a two-way. So it looks like people have gone into the Monster Hunter universe and monsters have gone into our universe, which is just great. But more importantly, we got our first like full teasery trailery goodness for this thing, and basically all we see is a little bit, you see like a couple frames of some monstery goodness, but most of it you see is gun. Man with gun, woman with gun, person on car with gun, car, that thing, you know, for Monster Hunter, those fucking trucks that you see all over Monster Hunter. And basically, this the marketing is telling me is that this is going to be a movie in which a bunch of people shoot guns at big monsters. Now, if you're familiar with Monster Hunter, it is in fact about shooting big monsters, but typically not with gun. Usually it's more like shoot with bow gun, which getting closer, I'll give it to you.
Hey.
Shoot with sword, shoot with hammer cannon, shoot with, you know, ridiculous big weapon, not gun.
Literally anything that isn't a gun will shoot.
Yes,
in this game series.
You got gun lances.
You got gun lances.
You got gun lances.
Now, exactly, Ian. You're a marvelous gentleman because you set me up for my point here. Hey guys, this is a prequel to Monster Hunter. Yeah,
Oh, no.
Didn't see this coming, did you? That's right. The canonical reason guns and explosives exist in Monster Hunter is this movie. You all thought it was garbage. You all thought this movie was going to be crap, but no, they're tying it all together. They're going to invent the gun lance. They're going to invent the bow gun. They're going to invent those stupid boats they crashed into the thing in Monster Hunter World. We're in it, baby. This is gonna it's a Star Wars thing, like they're inventing the technology, and then thousands of years later we're gonna cut to at the end of the movie and it's gonna be actual in-game footage of the Monster Hunter World 2 game.
I was
Can you fucking imagine, by the way, if a movie did that? Or it's like this is a trailer actually. Boom, here's the video game.
I was about to say, what if the new Switch Monster Hunter game that's coming out next year, they're like, we got rid of dual swords, we got rid of all the weapons you love, now it's all gun.
Guns. It's just gun. Here's an AK-47.
We told you
no, it's all cars. It's a driving Monster Hunter game. Wait, that's awesome.
I'd play that.
We told you that we were gonna let you ride a dog in this game. Actually, we lied. It's now car.
Dog car.
Hey, listen. I would probably play that. Cat bus and dog car. Oh, you know what? Ian, I'm going to give you an extra point for that cat bus joke. But next up in the order is David. What topic would you like to talk about?
I'm going to talk about our good old chunky boy, the PlayStation 5.
Our beautiful fat son.
The big chungus. The PlayStation 5.
The big chungus of a console that is the PlayStation 5. So most of my comments on this will be serious, but I'm going to start off with, could they have picked a worse person to do the teardown on the PS5? And I loved him. I don't mean for his ability to tear the console down. He is a fantastic man. His voice was fine. It was great. But they just need to pick a bigger dude.
Yes.
Or lady. So that the fucking console didn't look like it was the size of his entire torso.
It was literally bigger than the man's torso.
Yeah, the smallest
It's-
person. Like they went and found the smallest person in the Sony office and were like, "Get
I
in here."
I literally made a tweet from the Around the Monitor Twitter account that day that was like,
Follow us.
"What? Yeah, follow us on Twitter, by the way. It's twitter.com @round the monitor. The A is the @ But I was like, why didn't they get fucking bring Andre the Giant back from the dead? Have him fucking detail this thing, rip it apart.
Andre the Giant's not Japanese, so he's not doing it. But
Listen,
I'm sure
but
they
he's
have
cool as shit.
somebody bigger. They just needed somebody bigger to make this thing look like not the size of a fucking 5-year-old child. Like, holy shit, it's so big. And as soon as he took the fins off, it was like, wow, man, like a third of the console's size from these removable fins that have no like functional reason to be that big. They're all there for style to make it look like a fucking router. Ah, God. Realistically, like, I enjoyed this teardown. I got a lot of information, so we now know it has a stand with a screw in it, which I wasn't mad at. A ton of people were pretty salty about that. I don't really understand it. Whatever. It's a stand. It has a screw. Congratulations, you can figure it out.
Everyone's mad you have to screw it instead of just turning the console over, which, like, I fucking get it, but, like, whatever. We got bigger fucking problems.
No. Fuck, gamers, stop being little bitches.
I will
all
say
right?
this. I will say this.
You are gonna put the console in either vertical or horizontal, and it's never fucking moving from that. You know it. We all know it. It's never gonna move from that position. It's fine. Who gives a shit?
I'll tell you what. Unlike the GameCube, though, I'm not fucking putting this in a little satchel and bringing it to my friend's house. It will break your back.
If you bring it anywhere, you're gonna have to fucking bring a diaper bag and some baby bottles so you can fucking feed this thing along the way, because it's a fucking child.
It's our beautiful child.
All right, more in terms of like cool hardware stuff. They have a giant heatsink and a bunch of fans that are apparently silent, mostly due to the size. So that's cool because the PS4 sounds like a goddamn jet taking off. It's got a giant ass heatsink that is also half the size of the console.
If only Microsoft Flight Sim had come to the PlayStation 4, it would be very immersive.
The most immersive. What else was I gonna say? Oh, okay. So this was one of the coolest things in there for me. They have a liquid metal. I forget what the word is. Like transition state between the processor. Yeah, I mean, liquid metal, it's most likely mercury. Don't touch it. Don't eat it, kids. But like transition between the proc and the heatsink, which will transmit heat very, very effectively to that
like
giant
a thermal
heatsink.
compound.
Yes. Except it's like literally straight up liquid metal instead of a paste, which is nuts.
It's very weird that, people have had the Xbox Series X for a week now. Media outlets have, and nobody's touched the PlayStation 5, but I'm sure we'll be hearing.
There
about
are some
it soon.
Japanese influencers that got to see and use it.
Apparently, Travis Scott has one, but
I heard he only has the controller. He doesn't have the console.
What? Why would they only give him the controller?
to take a picture on Instagram.
Who knows, man?
By the way, I just looked it up.
But like a bunch of Japanese influencers did get their hands on the PS5. They just didn't get to like take it home. They got to play with it and like use the DualSense and stuff. That's about it. So that's the best we have is some user translated stuff from those first looks.
I do want to move on just because we did spend a lot of time talking about that.
I got interrupted like 7 times.
We all kept making jokes over it. So you're totally good.
So big. What do you want from me?
But we do have an extra point to David for being funny from RK Fan, and I'll throw an extra one in there too. Pridge, you're up next. What would you like to talk about?
Let's talk about Star Wars Squadrons.
Ooh, I like those squadrons.
Star Wars, not Rogue Squadron. Bastards. Should have called it Rogue Squadron. There's your first mistake.
Roguist Squadron.
Those were good games. All right, so apparently we've learned that at this moment there are no plans for any post-launch content for Star Wars Squadrons, which is really, really, really weird in the year of our Lord 2020. Like it actually like took me a second to realize that when you bought games, you used to just get the game. and that was it. Like, that's like obviously with the proliferation of DLC and
Mhm.
expansions and such, that is a rarity rather than the rule.
Mhm.
What's super confusing about this decision, though, is why do you not want to print money? Like
Why
it's
do
a
you hate
Star
money?
Wars game. I haven't played this game. I watched some of you guys play it. It looks decently cool, but like it's the Star Wars universe. It's
Listen.
very, very big. You can add lots and lots of stuff to it. There is a very loose amount of canon you have to actually follow but otherwise you can just jam whatever the fuck you want into this. New campaigns, new modes, new planes, new missions. Like, how would you not milk the money out of this that you could? I'm not saying you have to go as like games games as a service type thing, but like, not gonna do any DLC or anything.
Listen,
Do you not like? Sorry.
I was to say, as we know, EA does not like to milk the Star Wars franchise.
That's
No,
what's
they-
so.
They would never.
That's what's so weird.
Yeah,
Like,
it's baffling to me.
yeah, it's just like you're not gonna do like that's just so confusing because this would be a perfect game. Drop like a DLC pack like sometime down the road, right as interest is starting to wane. Be like, oh, by the way, here's some new planes to fly or new missions or shit. Use a throwback. Use a Clone Wars DLC where you can use the old Clone Wars ships and fly as a Jedi starfighter. I don't know if that's in the game or not, but like,
It's not.
fuck, dude, Star Wars, bad shit.
Star Wars.
I'll say real quick, I hate this article because EA literally said before the game release that they weren't going to do any of like post-launch stuff.
I do feel
And
bad.
so they made an article later and they're like, "Oh, EA actually told the truth." Is basically what the article is.
Well, either way, Ian, you're up next. Oh, sorry, and really quick. 1 point to Pridge for saying squadrons, and another point to David for paying attention to the chat. There we go. Ian, what would you like to talk about for your first topic?
All right, fuck you. You all know I was gonna talk about it. I'm talking about Genshin Impact.
Oh, there we go.
I'm sorry. So,
Genshin a go-go, baby.
Genshin Impact, also known as Breath of the
I
Wild.
appreciated that.
I did too, actually.
Thank you.
Also
can't
known as
see
Breath
it.
of the Waifus. It is just Breath of the Wild for like most of the playtime. It's got 17 million downloads on mobile alone. And as far as I can tell, everyone that I know who's been playing it has been playing it on PC or PS4. This game's fucking blowing up and is estimated at $60 million of revenue since launch. It launched like a week ago.
Yeah.
It's a good game. And I would recommend you play it. But also, don't spend money on this game.
Yeah.
Do not spend any money on this game for two reasons. Number one, and most importantly, for me at least, you're not gonna get anything. You're not gonna get anything. You will be wasting all of your money. The drop rates are incredibly low. The only thing you want is characters, and you're not gonna get those. You are not gonna get those. You're gonna say, "Oh, I want this waifu," or "I want this husbando." Or you want this husband? Sorry, my roommate. just
No,
wanted to
you're
close my
fine.
door.
That's why we
You
can
will
crop
not
this
get
out in
them.
post.
You will get everyone else, or you will get no. You're not going to get everyone else. You'll get 3 characters 5 times. That's all you're going to get. And this is not me speaking from experience because I haven't spent money on this game because I watched people. Chris, waving.
Your Honor.
No, but it's also that the parts of this game that want you to spend money, that want you to have like the most optimized team, like for one, you can do this free to play, pretty easily. For 2, those aren't the best parts of the game. The best parts of the game are doing the fucking Breath of the Wild shit. So
Hey.
like, do that.
It's true.
And then when that stops happening, stop playing.
That's pretty sage advice. I got nothing to say to that one. That's good.
my advice for this game.
Well, we do have to give one more point to Ian for Breath of the Waifus, even though that is such an old joke. Where have you been,
It's a
arcade
really
fan?
old joke.
Not even
Like, I did not come
close
up
to
with
being
that.
Ian's joke.
That's fine. Chris, you're up next. What would you like to take for your second topic of the show?
That's an excellent question. What would I like to take from the topic? That's a juicy boy, actually. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. We'll do it. I haven't read the article, but we're doing it. Hey guys, is Microsoft possibly saving GameStop? And if so,
No, you
and
should have read the article.
and if so, fucking why? Well, I didn't read the article, and I'm now realizing the hubris of my way.
Ooh.
But in my defense, Zach added this article minutes before we went live, so I don't give a shit.
It
I'm
was
going
breaking news.
Exactly, and we're covering it. God damn it. So Microsoft partners with GameStop basically to the bullshit like legalese that Zach was reading. It says like to expand our online and physical distribution network of game friends. Go games. Microsoft's helping GameStop distribute some shit. Why, you might ask? The answer is I don't fucking know. But I can make very rash conjectures because this is an internet show.
That's huge if true.
Big if true, large if correct. So Microsoft probably realizes that their online distribution platforms that aren't just selling shit on Steam, basically, kind of a couple years off. And people, for some reason that I personally can't comprehend, still really like buying things physically. Like I don't like buying games physically. I've done it in quite a while. And so if GameStop goes out of business, that's still bad for them in the long term. Because even though the sales will eventually be made up by Amazon and fucking Best Buys and Walmarts and Targets, it's still one less retailer carrying Microsoft's objects. And more importantly, it's one less realtor carrying Microsoft physical items, controllers, consoles, the like, which are actually, a more important object to move, especially because like there's no way of buying that digitally. So that's something to be worried about. Is Microsoft saving GameStop? Maybe only until the consoles are out. But
they just drop them like a hot potato after that.
Yeah, I think the main thing here is that like while we're all expecting the inevitable death of GameStop, it isn't necessarily something that's good for the industry. And Microsoft realizes that even if they would prefer Sony also not have GameStop, but Sony is big in Japan, literally speaking, and GameStop is like a fucking minor league in Japan, so they're not gonna be hurt from that at all.
That's true. Yeah.
Should have read the article.
Yeah, should have read the article. I don't know. David, do you have anything from the article that actually adds, something to this conjecture?
Basically, Microsoft is giving GameStop a bunch of software, a lot of which is really shitty.
Are they giving them Microsoft Windows?
No, they're giving them
Only Windows
Dynamics 365 for like inventory management and stuff, and a few. My Dynamics is fucking terrible though. And like Microsoft Teams, which just use Slack or Zoom. Why? And a bunch of other stuff. And then GameStop's gonna be basically used to distribute that Microsoft All Access plan, where you don't pay anything in store and then do installments over the 2 years.
I mean,
that's
a fine idea.
Yeah,
like
sure,
it means nothing in the grand scheme of things for GameStop.
Yeah.
Hey man, but they'll take that additional help because God knows they need it.
Yeah, they fucking do.
They fucking need it.
Unfortunately, Arcade Fan takes a point away from Chris for hating on physical media, which, damn man.
That's fine. I'll lose a point for being correct.
Also, there are still a lot of people that have data caps or don't have great internet, and physical media are a good solution.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate amount of people.
We're fucking spoiled because we're all in major cities, but
Also,
I
we're all
live
in
in the
America
South,
and Canada.
I get it, but hey, man, fuck off. Did you think about that when you woke up this morning? Did you think about fuck off?
Oh, I think about that to myself every morning.
Speaking of, David, it's your turn.
If I didn't get a point for that
Speaking of
last joke,
fucking off.
if I didn't get a point for that last joke, I'm fucking off this goddamn show.
All right, that's fine. That's pretty funny.
I really thought you were just gonna say, speaking of fucking off, Pridge. You just skipped me entirely.
That would have been funnier. What would you like to talk
Oh,
about for your second topic?
God, let's talk about Yves Guillemot. Fucking Ubisoft, because they still suck and are gonna continue to suck. Hey, you know what, Ubisoft and Yves Guillemot? Fuck off.
Speaking of fucking off,
Oh god. So Ubisoft has identified 4 closely related areas in which we need to improve quickly. Let me tell you, this is the most bullshit HR speak. All right, number 1, I'm just going to fucking read it. Number 1, guarantee a working environment where everyone feels respected and safe. No shit. That's like, oh man, if I have a workplace where everyone feels like they have a gun to their head, they don't perform well, and people quit and like tell the cops on us. God damn. Oh man.
Tell the
Okay, number
cops
2.
on us.
Putting diversity and inclusion at the heart of everything we do. No, they're not gonna do that.
No,
They're
probably not.
absolutely not gonna do that. Y'all seen the message at the beginning of every
Let's say
Assassin's
everybody
Creed
did.
game? This game was made by a diverse group of people from all races, creeds, and religions. No, it's still gonna be a bunch of white people. It's fine. It's not fine. Number 3, refocus and strengthen our HR function so that we can oppress you more. Number 4, make the managers of the group accountable and empower them. You can't do both at the same time, Ubisoft. You can't do both of those at the same time. You can't be like, we're going to hold you accountable for all the overpowering and overbearing shit you do, but also we're going to empower you to do more of that. No, none of this works. This means nothing.
That's nothing. Yeah.
Ubisoft's just going to like put some token money to pretend that they're doing anything about this issue. 3 months from now, probably less given Ubisoft, we're going to have another story about how fucking shitty they are. Actually, no, in Ubisoft, it'll be a couple weeks. We got a couple weeks tops
I mean,
What
before
day is it?
something else comes
Thursday,
out.
Saturday morning.
yeah, considering I put up that video like I think maybe not even 2 weeks ago, and like 3
already
different
out there.
stories have come out.
And one great little number in here. In an internal investigation, roughly 25% of Ubisoft employees have experienced or witnessed some form of workplace misconduct in the past 2 years, and that 1 in 5 do not feel fully respected or safe in the work environment. I wonder, what is the percentage of women that work at Ubisoft? Is it 25? Is it perhaps 1 in 5? Who knows?
You
Yeah.
decide.
Yeah, it's not a great look, and they've got a shit ton to fix. Again, I think the obvious answer is to not have Yves Guillemot be the fucking CEO. Listen, he's still going to keep making money from the company, and yeah, he created it, and that sucks for him. But also, he created a bad company, like where people are getting exploited left and right. It's a problem, and he has to. At some point, you have to be responsible for the company you run. At some point. Extra point there, and then RK Fan gives you a point for spitting facts on behalf of the poor saps with bad internet.
Oh, okay. I was about to say spitting facts. I mean, all you do is read the article in which Yves Guillemot lies 4 times.
I mean, yeah, it's frustrating and fucked up, and hopefully this gets fixed, but I won't be holding my breath for it. Pridge, you're up next. The penultimate topic of the show.
We're out of really good topics, so I'm gonna literally talk about the exact same thing I talked about last week.
Don't sound too excited.
All right, so we're getting a Resident Evil TV show, and they're trying to reboot a live-action Resident Evil movie. So, for those of you that don't know, because I didn't even know, because I could have sworn there were not this many, there are 6 live-action Resident Evil movies.
I've seen every single one.
What?
Why? Because they're terrible. I
Somebody
love,
else.
I love garbage.
Oh,
Somebody,
okay, that's fair.
somebody in the chat
Who
take
are
away another
that?
point from this guy.
Give me a point
No,
for doing
dude,
a civil
shitty
service.
movies are funny. I don't take away a point from that, man.
Like, who keeps letting these movies exist? Like, they're all like the highest one is a 37 on Rotten Tomatoes and a 49 on Metacritic. And
Yowza.
surprisingly, it's the most recent one, which
Really?
is crazy.
I remember
like-
not hating the first one, but that's mostly because of the laser scene, and I was in high school.
And, like, the laser scene's kind of cool. No one's gonna deny that.
Yeah. I like that
like-
everybody knows the laser scene.
The laser scene was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
It's like these movies suck. But they suck really bad.
Hmm.
Like, why? Like, this is the exact same thing I said last week. But like, the zombie genre is getting so overplayed.
Yes.
And the Resident Evil series really doesn't bring anything new to it. It's not like a fresh or unique take on zombies. It's this evil company creates zombies and they kill a bunch of people and bad stuff happens and there's violence and really bad acting and
Mm.
someone should let Mila Jovovich not do video game movies.
Yeah, but-
She may actually be a good actress. I just can't tell because she's constantly stuck in bad movies.
How
Joe
does-
is on a one-person quest to end video game movies by making all of them
It's
dog
so
shit.
weird. Like, I honestly I can't tell if she's a good actress because she's just in so many
No,
bad movies.
She's not, because
she's
people would have
adequate.
cast her for something good at this
I think
point.
le-
if she-
I mean,
legitimately.
hey, she was Lulu in The Fifth Element. Is that worth anything?
It's worth something to me.
Yeah.
Personally.
Here's the thing.
Also, go for it.
This movie is going to be, or sorry, Monster Hunter is going to be making, as somebody in the chat said it, it's going to be making a lot of its money overseas, specifically in China, which are very much into these big blockbuster action movies with bad plots and bad acting.
Not to stereotype an entire society, but Chinese people enjoy really, really shitty movies, and American producers keep making potentially shitty movies just to pander them to the Chinese market.
And guess
It's Michael fucking Bay.
guess where the Resident Evil movies sold super fucking well in China,
God,
to the
worldwide.
the point that Mila Jovovich is like a household name in China when Western
Yeah.
audiences are like, who is she? I don't know.
Can surprise me.
It's very funny. Yeah, I agree with you on that. We have a pity point going to Chris because bad movies do in fact equal good movies, according to
Thank you.
RK Fan, who also goes out to mention that he is a Resident Evil box office boy. Sorry, just
No.
Resident box office boy, but I read it as Resident Evil box office boy, which is funnier.
That's even better.
That's so good.
Yeah. Anyways, RK Fan's going to set up for a stream. Oh shit, that's tonight.
Ooh.
We'll talk about that when we plug everything else at the beginning of the show. But time for the final topic. We've been running long. Ian, bring us home. Ian, what do you want to talk about?
Cutting is very powerful.
Fuck it. I'm gonna talk. There's not many topics left. I'm gonna talk about Sony changing the fucking X and O buttons in Japan. I don't understand both. So listen, the X and O buttons here or cross and circle, fucking, because that's what they're called.
It's the
But
worst.
they're the X and O buttons. Here it's everyone knows X is select, O is back. It's the exact same positions as on a Xbox controller where A is select and B is back, which makes sense.
Mhm.
People in the West associate X with like X marks the spot. Whereas people in Japan associate X with like no good or wrong. It's like the like crossing out.
Yeah.
And the circle is Maru, which is okay or correct. So since the PlayStation 1, everywhere except I think Japan and China, might also be Korea and some other Southeast Asian countries,
Mhm.
um, have had everywhere except them have had X as the select, O as the back, and they have had it the other way around. They're switching that with the PlayStation 5. And people in Japan are angry about it because, listen, we've all adjusted between different control schemes. You know, when you play on your Switch, when you play on your Xbox, when you play on whatever you have, um, it's weird. It's weird when the wrong button, and it's especially weird when you're emulating something or when you're playing a Chinese game such as Genshin Impact, and they don't let you remap the buttons.
I was
So
about
it's
to
just
specifically mention navigating Genshin's UI is a goddamn nightmare.
Don't
I've
use a
gotten
controller.
used to it, but it takes a little while,
Yeah.
especially because you can't remap that. So, and it takes a while to get used to it. That said, by a while, I mean like an hour or two to get used to using the new button. I've used the bottom button, the bottom face button all my life. I got used to using O as select in about an hour.
Deal with it, Japan.
Like, yeah, exactly. And also,
I was
there's
joking.
people. No, I'm serious. And there's people that play on Xbox there. There's people that play on that use these controls on PC where they don't have that unless they remap it. And listen, you could on PC, whatever, go into the settings and hard remap it. I'm sure you can do that on the PS4 because I'm pretty sure they have control remapping on the
Mhm.
system level. But that also means fucking up with like all the other controls that go on those buttons when you're not in menus.
Mhm.
And like if controls are supposed to be next to each other, sometimes they're supposed to be next to each other. I don't. So really what I'm saying is get fucking used to it, Japan. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to switch.
Damn. You heard it here first,
the
folks.
the options here really are either add fucking full controller like remapping support, or shut the fuck up. The Western way makes more sense this is the one time where it's like you're absolutely wrong, Japan. You're so fucking wrong.
I
Yeah.
think the theme for this episode is get
fucking
fucked.
good.
But
Listen,
no,
I am 100% down with like most cultural differences, like literally 99.9%. This is the one. This is the one thing.
I wanna go on the record, and I don't want that to be listed as our like company policy that we don't respect cultural differences as around the monitor. But
We
sure.
respect
Please no.
cultural differences, except this one exception.
I mean, I'm sympathetic, but sure.
Just add controller support. It's that fucking
Yes.
hard.
Does the PS4 not have controller support? Like
Not
full controller?
natively. Like some games have it.
I want to say I'm like 90% sure that they added that at some point where you can go into the
Mhm.
systems. But like you said, it's then the pain where like, oh, if I'm going to switch to playing another game, like if I just want
Or-
to jump in and play something else, I got to fuck around and switch it back.
They also
The
sell
main
a
thing is, like-
dongle with remappable buttons. That sucks. Don't buy this.
The main thing for me about system remapping buttons instead of remapping them in game is the one example that really like illustrates the point is if you have like a heavy and a light attack button and they're on like say an Xbox controller B and Y.
Okay.
If you remap that to A and Y,
That
now they're
sucks.
like across the controller from each
Yeah.
other, and that fucking sucks.
Agreed.
Yep.
Right? You don't want to hard remap that, but then
Yeah.
you're fucked in the yeah.
You know what? You know what else fucking sucks? Not winning this week, which means Ian, Bridge, and Chris, it's time to go home and become family men. Because this week's winner is David.
Show with the best segues around.
Are you ready for your minute to win it? Take it away.
Okay. So it is that time of year once again. About a month from now is Extra Life 2020. 2020 has sucked dick. We all know this. It's been horrible for everyone, everywhere. Like, if you've got the means, check out Extra Life. I don't have a custom URL for my thing yet, so I can't plug it right now. But just check out Extra Life. Donate to somebody if you have the means. If you don't, it's okay. But there's a bunch of kids and families who are in the middle of all this COVID shit dealing with cancer, and they could probably use some help too. They're losing their jobs and having to deal with work from home and all that jazz too. So if you've got the means, check out Extra Life. That's it.
Heck yeah. We don't have hard plans yet, but we are planning to do some sort of Extra Life stream. And speaking of actually big streams, tentatively, because I haven't done the legwork to actually properly prep this yet, next Thursday, when we do the show, a week from today, I am trying to potentially have a big celebration stream because we actually just passed 2,700 subscribers today. So originally I wanted to do a 2,000 sub celebration stream, and then I was like, oh, we should do a 2,500 sub. That we'll hit that at some point, and then we hit that very quickly, literally within a matter of days. So I think we should do
Look
something to
forward to our
celebrate.
3K sub celebration.
Yeah, hopefully that'd be amazing. But basically, yeah, just
Also, hey, thanks for subscribing, y'all. Fuck yeah.
yeah. Just follow our Discord, follow us on Twitter. I'll make some posts probably the next few days about if that is happening or not, and figuring out what people's schedules are to do some co-streaming stuff. But other things to plug, gentlemen.
Sure, I'll start. So tomorrow, which is October 9th at 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern, we'll be doing Around the Controller for this week. Floating between two topics, so I'm not going to say what the topic is, but it'll have something to do with either this gen or last gen, or next gen, sorry.
No Tales from Runeterra this week. I needed an off week. I'm fucking moving, y'all. Shit's rough. What do you want from me?
Yes.
But look forward either tomorrow evening or Saturday morning for a special little video, a review of the Riot Games weird board game. Card game is the wrong term. Yeah, it's a board game. Tellstones, which is a cool little game about lying and deception and mind trickery.
Hooray. And
Yeah.
I've got a video essay. I'm hoping to have it up on Tuesday. Should be the finish date because I've got to do some reshoots this weekend, and still learning Adobe After Effects, which does make things look better, but it does take a lot more time sometimes. So
Welcome to my fucking life.
fuck that program. But that's going to do it for this week's show, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, this has been Around the Monitor.